Hello everyone, this is Piyush Kumar, and here I'm very pleased to introduce you one of our students, Vikram Grewal. He has secured 51 rank in the very much first attempt only, right? So over to Vikram.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon to all. As sir said, I'm Vikram Grewal, and I'm here to share my secret to success regarding the history optional. And I have structured my talk basically in three subsets. One is why to study history or why to choose the history optional. The second would be what to study if you're choosing the history optional. And the third would be how to basically study the history optional. So I would start with telling you why history is a great optional for civil services candidates. I would begin with saying that prelims actually requires a lot of detailed understanding of history. Even this year, a lot of questions came from the history subject, and over 20 questions were there, and there was a lot of detailed analysis involved in those questions. So history was definitely one of those subjects. If you have some kind of mastery, it would have definitely helped you in prelims. And when it comes to mains, no, sir, it's fine. Yes. When it comes to mains, all GS subjects, GS1, when we talk about GS1, हमारे पास history as a very important topic in that particular paper. It's already there. There's GS2 in which you have some sort of idea of the schools of thought. For example, there's Marxist history, there's imperialist history, there's nationalistic history, जो आपको pol science में भी help करते हैं. GS3 में आपके पास economic history आ जाता है, जो if you consider class 11th की Indian economic development, the whole textbook is indirectly history only. And when we talk about GS4, history optional gives you the edge when it comes to schools of philosophy, schools of Indian philosophy, when it comes to heterodox sects or orthodox sects, for example, Advaita Vedanta and Samkhya philosophy, Nyaya philosophy, जो आप कोट कर सकते हैं ethics के पेपर में, और आपको काफ़ी अर्थशास्त्र के बारे में भी काफ़ी जानने को मिलता है हिस्ट्री में, जो बहुत ही important है GS4 के according. Other than that, essay paper is a brilliant way, a brilliant paper in which history can be quoted time and again. You can quote rulers, or you can give examples from India's history or world history. So that's why I think history optional is a really good option if you are going for civil services. More than that, I would say moreover that history gives you an objective frame of mind. You start analyzing things. How are things happening? Why are they happening? What is the historical causation behind certain events in the world history or history of politics, or even current affairs? For example, if I consider the present situation in Brexit, you have to consider when and where European Union was founded. How was its historical evolution happening in the post-war era, and it actually helps out the various prelims questions that come from such current affairs topics. So that was why you would want to choose history. And the next part would be what exactly do you have to read if you are opting for history optional. Now I consider there are two kinds of candidates over here. One is a person who's graduated in history like me, and there are other candidates who basically have some idea of history and are interested in history as students, but have not studied history as their graduation subject. So for them, I have limited my source material and have actually replaced those redundant readings which the college faculty gives you. And I have stuck to basic source material, and I would like to share it with you. For the paper one, which has ancient and medieval history, the sources would be first and foremost, I think it would be D.N. Jha, because it gives you a comprehensive understanding of the discipline. It tells you that history is not actually a factual subject, but more like a subject that is a study of change and evolution. Other than that, Upinder Singh would is a great source for facts, and it's a very comprehensive study of ancient India. Actually, early medieval India is also covered in it. So Upinder Singh is a great book. Other than that, Romila Thapar can be consulted for sources or the particular map question which comes. A lot of sites are mentioned in Romila Thapar's book, Early India, which are very important for the map question. So ancient India, these three were the basic things: Romila Thapar, D.N. Jha, and Upinder Singh, according to me. V.K. Jain is another really small book, can be consulted for prehistory part, and it's highly recommended just for the prehistory part. After ancient India, there's medieval India, which I think is indispensable if we consider Satish Chandra, and some IGNOU notes. I preferred IGNOU notes for the medieval part only because many of the toppers over here also recommended it. And IGNOU notes especially give you an idea of the polity, economy, and society quite distinctly because they have different sections involved in the notes. So medieval India ke liye, I think Satish Chandra plus IGNOU notes would suffice. You should read Irfan Habib if you are very interested in economic history, and especially the agrarian settlements of the Mughal Empire. So Irfan Habib can be consulted. There's another very small book by Irfan Habib called Medieval India. It's published by NBT, I think, and it's a great book if you just want to revise and corroborate other sources. Then we come to paper 2, in which modern history and world history are involved. Modern history ke liye, I think Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, From Plassey to Partition, is the most wonderful book in market right now, according to me. And you can also consult Bipan Chandra, which is great for prelims questions. And you can underline those italicized and bold fonts within the text, and only focus on keywords when you're revising or re-revising history for prelims. So when it comes to mains, I think the way you have to read Shekhar Bandyopadhyay is a very important part of the preparation, which I'll discuss in a later subsection. We'll come to world history now. World history mein a very prominent book is Norman Law, but I personally think that it's very heavy when it comes to facts and dates, and it's loaded with just details, and not exactly a lot of explanation is given. So I just skimmed through Norman Law, didn't take it quite interestingly. But there's another book on European history. I don't know the entire, like the specific name, but it's called Concise History of Europe, or Concise History of Modern Europe, I think. It's by David Mason. If you Google David Mason, you'll get quite a concise history of Europe, and it covers various parts of world history which are relevant according to the UPSC exam. There's Enlightenment, there's French Revolution, there's the post-war era, pre-war era, there's the rise of communism and imperialism. So all these things can be covered within like 200 pages. It's a very short book. Other than that, I watched a lot of History Channel documentaries. I know a lot of them are loaded with inaccuracies also and are sort of unacademic, but they give you a certain understanding of the domain of world history. So that's actually a very good way to start world history, according to me. You can also use some articles on Google or Wikipedia according for only the World War period, because World War period is quite comprehensively covered in these pages. Also, a lot of people know a lot about World War, so it's very concisely or briefly discussed in Wikipedia pages and is not actually factually wrong, which is the case with a lot of Indian history articles. But for the World War era, you can consult Wikipedia, which is like only for this particular part, I think. Coming to the final subsect of this talk, how to study history. Now, most of the people consider that history has a very huge scope and it's a very tedious job to complete the syllabus. But according to me, it's perhaps one of the easiest optionals, according to me, because the syllabus is very detailed. You have, for example, for paper 1 and paper 2, you have departments and subsections in a very detailed manner in the syllabus. If you pick up the syllabus, you have for paper 1, you have 24 points which cover ancient and medieval India. And in every point, they have covered the particular subsection which they want to question you on. For example, when we start with the first point, there's sources. Sources में आपका archaeological sources आ जाता है, literary sources आ जाता है. So all you need to do is make notes according to the syllabus. Pick a huge register, सबसे मोटे वाला लेना, उसमें divide कर देना 2 parts में, paper 1, paper 2. Paper 1 में start with the first point and go until the 24th point, and every point should have a separate chapter and only cover those points which are mentioned in the syllabus. For example, Mauryan Empire is शायद 7th या 6th point है syllabus में. It has polity, rise of Chandragupta Maurya, and there are Arthashastra is very important. So Dhamma is very important, and the decline of the empire is very important. How and the theories regarding it, which also brings me to the point that quoting historians also becomes very important in answer writing. So, for example, you have Mauryan Empire ka decline. So, different writers had different points of view in this. Romila Thapar had a different point of view. There's Haraprasad Sastri had a different point of view. There's Vincent Smith who had a different point of view. So all these opinions actually matter, and you can focus on the keywords while writing these down. So even for paper 2, pick up a register, name each and every point as a separate chapter, have subsections, and that's it. You don't need to go beyond this. And I have consulted previous year question papers for the past 10 years, I think, and never has a question come outside these subsections. So history actually becomes very easy if you consider that point, because in other optionals, which are very dynamic, very current questions are also asked, but history में कभी भी in subsections is syllabus के बाहर कुछ नहीं आया. Then I come to the map question. The map question can be easily solved by, the map question can fetch you a lot of marks. It's for 50 marks, and it's very mathematical. You just need to practice it a lot. Practice it according to the themes. Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic sites, alag. There's PGW sites, NBPW sites. तो हर किसी map का अलग आप practice कर सकते हैं, और एक practice according to the themes, and do not ignore the map question, which would be my final advice to you. I was talking about Shekhar Bandyopadhyay's reading. I think Shekhar Bandyopadhyay quotes a lot of people at the end, and if you can just point the text out कि कौन सा text किस historian से related है. For example, he has read basically a lot of sources. He has read Marxist sources. He's read nationalistic histories as well, anthropological histories as well. There's subalternism involved. तो text को पढ़ते हुए, you should divide it according to the point of view that is being conveyed. For example, राणाजीत गुहा का subscript marked होगा वहाँ पे, तो तुम pencil या pen से mark कर लो कि this point was conveyed by Ranajit Guha, this point was conveyed by Sumit Sarkar. So this would actually help you during revision. So I think that's how you read a historical text. If, for example, this was for modern history, you can do the same for Upinder Singh, who quotes a lot of historians. Just text में वो highlight करके लिख दो कि किस historian का point of view ये है. So that was how to study history basically. And I think that's about it. I've covered why, what, and how of the history optional. I just want to tell this with the caveat that it worked wonders for me. Might not work for you, but can work way better if you follow these guidelines, plus modify according to your moods and your preferences. So good luck to you all. All the best, and I think history is a great option. Thank you so much.